don't we do a Mercury reading, okay? A Mercury retrograde reading. Because Mercury retrograde always has people all up some kind of way, right? Mercury retrograde gets everybody's panties up in a wad. Gets everyone feeling all upset. We've got all of those memes that say like, I'm sorry for what I said when it was Mercury retrograde. But honestly, Mercury retrograde is not that bad if you're willing to look at it in a different light. So let's go ahead and look at it in a different light. Also, if you know your birth chart, like your natal chart, and you go and take a look, if you were born during a Mercury retrograde, you will not have the same issues as everybody else. You will have, it won't affect you as much. You also might notice that during the actual retrograde, when everybody is all bent out of shape and everybody's having issues, you're perfectly fine. You have the issues about 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after when Mercury goes shadow. So this is some stuff that is really interesting, and you might want to go ahead and look at that, figure it out, get your birth chart done. You can do it for free online. There's a whole bunch of places you can do that, okay? So let's go ahead and pull 3 cards. I'm going to go ahead and cut your deck. You see me? Yeah. Go ahead and cut your deck, and we're going to pull 3 cards. He did not want to get shuffled in, so he's going to be your bonus reading. I'm going to go ahead and just read it as a story, okay? So if you're watching this video, this has got some kind of stuff for you in here, okay? So the guy who did not want to be shuffled is Death. I turned it around. I do not read, I don't read reverses because I already read Shadow. So we've got Death and we've got Fighting, all right? This is the 5 of Wands, and I will pull it up so you can kind of see it while I talk about it. I'll pull up Death in just a minute too. The 5 of Wands. This is, some people will say it's a lot of fighting. I kind of see it as maybe a celebration. Like they already fought, these guys won, and they're all like, yeah, we kicked ass. Yeah, so awesome, right? They're kind of going, we didn't expect to win, but we won. Yeah, this is great. This is awesome. We've got dirt, and it's probably like a grass kind of thing, but it looks like it's dying. And we have maybe a little bit of water here, but there's not too much, and it also looks like it's drying out during this fight celebration. Let's read it as a fight for a minute, and then we're going to read it as a celebration. So what are you fighting about? What are you constantly arguing about? The wands are movement. So what are you gaining from these arguments? During Mercury retrograde, we're always fighting because we're miscommunicating. We're not understanding each other. We understand what we're wanting to say, but it comes off wrong to somebody else. So if that's the case, what do you do to make sure that they understand you, right? Now let's flip it completely around and say they're celebrating. So if they're celebrating, battling somebody else, fighting with somebody else, and now they're celebrating, it means they were able to work as a team, right? They were able to understand each other. They knew the small little signals of like, hey, this guy is getting too strong for me. Somebody come and help me if you've got a chance. They understand that. If you have been married for a long, long time, you know that like, I don't want to sound, I don't even know what the word is. Husbands and wives, no judgment, right? If they're together for a long time, they kind of have these little eye movements or these little facial expressions or the little like tick that the other partner knows, okay, I'm done, I'm ready to leave. Or meet me over in the corner because I'm about to explode or something like that, right? Parents usually have it with their kids, and the kids know like, okay, shut the fuck up, sit down. If you're able to do that in a celebratory mode, there's a way of saying, you know what, here's what I'm feeling. It has nothing to do with you. It's my issue. Help me, please, right? So Mercury retrograde miscommunicating with us, that's not necessarily the case. If you want to, if you're going to take the time to, you can make sure people understand you. With death there, that is exactly what it's telling us. Do not fall into the trap of believing that Mercury retrograde fucks up communication, because honestly, it's our own perception of communication being fucked up. It's our own perception of what the person wants to say that it causes us to become triggered and upset. It's not Mercury retrograde necessarily, although Mercury retrograde does play a part in it. If you take the time and go, you know what, I think you said this. Is that really what you were trying to tell me? And the other person goes, no, this is what I was trying to tell you. You don't let Mercury retrograde fuck shit up, right? So that's what this card is telling you. And I'm reading this direction because of the retrograde, okay? All right. Here we have another celebration. Normally we have, this one is the fighting, right? And then here we come home, the soldiers that won. Here we come home to the beautiful parade because we won. Here we come home to achievement and excellence and the heroes, right? We can see all of the green. New stuff is going to grow. We can see the wands. There's 6 of them. These are like their battle weapons, right? These guys won. So if we have the fight here, and then we have more celebration here, although I said I'm going to read this as celebration, but if we have more here, what happened? We were able to say, whoa, slow your roll. This is my perception of what you're saying. Whoa, slow my roll. My communication is not going as I expected it to, because I can see on your face the way you're reacting to my words that this is going downhill quickly. Hold on. What do you understand me to be saying? Because I don't think I'm communicating properly. Now, when you did what I just said, wait, I am not communicating properly. Please tell me what you understand I am saying. We take it away from the person that we're talking to, right? It's no longer their fault they're not understanding us. It's no longer them having to defend themselves. It's, please explain to me what I'm not doing. Please explain to me what I'm not saying, because I don't think you understand what I mean. I don't think I'm communicating what I mean properly. Okay? That is a huge celebration. And that ends the whole bullshit of like, well, I can't be held responsible for what I said during Mercury retrograde. I mean, I'm going to piss you guys off in this reading, and I could go up and say, oops, well, I wasn't responsible for what I said during Mercury retrograde, but I know fully what's coming out of my mouth, and I have a very good understanding of probably how you're understanding what's coming out of my mouth, okay? So no, it's not what Mercury retrograde made me say. It's how I was perceived. And I can also go and say, okay, I know this is pissing you guys off. I can feel the energy right now, right? Please understand, I'm not trying to piss you off. I'm trying to help you be able to get through this retrograde. I'm trying to help you perceive it in a different way, all right? And if you want to be pissed off, be pissed off. Here we have the 2 of Cups, a partnership, a celebration. A lot of people say this is a marriage, okay? So we don't usually marry people we don't like. We don't usually marry people we can't communicate with. I'm gonna put this down for just a second. These 2, a fight and then a celebration, or a fight and a celebration and more celebration, right? You can see my dog's teeth in here. This one is, yeah, we understand each other. We like shit so much that we're willing to spend our lives together because you get me. You understand my shit, right? You understand my bad parts, and you're willing to still overlook them or deal with them because my good parts are much better. Okay? So if we take in death again, death of ego is what I'm going to say. And I really hate this little fad word, but death of ego, to go, you know what? I don't think you're understanding me. I don't think I'm communicating properly. I don't think that, what's coming out of my mouth is exactly what I want coming out of my mouth, because the way you're looking at me tells me that you're becoming offended, and I don't want that. That kind of stuff makes everything better, right? Usually you get married because you think it's going to be better. It's going to be amazing. So if that's the case, doing this shit is going to make Mercury retrograde much better. Now, we just went with like talking people communication style, right? We didn't talk about contracts. We didn't talk about communication tools, the internet, telephones, all of that stuff going crazy. If we believe that energy goes where attention flows, our attention is going, everything is going to go berserk, right? Our attention is going, don't sign contracts right now because something is going to get messed up. Our attention is doing that. So a lot of the time we make things much worse because our perception is telling us that it needs to be worse. Our perception is telling us that this is what's going to happen. Also, we make all of this energy, because it's not just like you and me who are talking this, right? We have probably most of the world, half of the world, a quarter of the world, because some people don't believe in it. That many people putting out that energy, it's bound to cause some issues, okay? So keep that in mind when you're going, oh my God, it's Mercury retrograde, that's causing my computer to be on the glitches. No, it might have a little bit to do with it, but it probably doesn't. When you go, oh my God, I can't sign this contract because Mercury retrograde and it means that it's gonna all be bad. No, it's not. And then also remember, if you've been working on contracts and you're gonna sign during the retrograde, that doesn't matter because you were already working on it. It's like brand new stuff. So if I told you right now during Mercury retrograde, hey, let's collaborate, that is where we could have some issues because it's happening during the retrograde. But if we were talking about it back in April, it don't matter anymore. It doesn't matter if we sign contracts right now because we were working on it back in April. It doesn't matter if we go and buy a car right now because we've had the intention of doing it since April. We've been saving the down payment since March. We've been browsing since January, whatever, right? Signing the contract today or tomorrow or next week is not going to be as much as me just going, you know what, I'm gonna go buy a car today. Just boom, out of the blue, right? That's where we have some issues, okay? So I'm hoping this reading that is telling you Mercury is pretty much a time to look at stuff and celebrate. It's not a time, stop the idea that, Mercury retrograde. Stop the idea that it's a bad time because honestly, it's a really good time if you change your perception. Also, because it is Mercury retrograde, I would love it if you guys figured out a way to take 20 minutes 2 or 3 times a day, a week, sorry, not a day, 2 or 3 times a week, just to hang out by yourself, just to meditate, just to get your nails done, just to go get a massage, whatever it is that is your self-care, do that, okay? Because we focus a lot on Mercury retrograde and all of its bad stuff, but we don't focus on Mercury retrograde giving us a chance to repair, to recharge, to recover, all of those rewords that the retrograde means, okay? So please find some time, even if it's not as much as I said, just some time during the week where it's just taking care of you, recharging you, recovering you, repairing you, self-care, self-love, whatever word you want it to be, do that, all right? Okay, so you guys know the ending, right? If this reading was of service to you, please share it. If you know anybody else who could benefit from this reading, please share it. If you loved this reading, consider hitting that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribing. That bell notification will let you know anytime I've got something new popping up. If you have anything that you want me to talk about, I accept requests. So Mercury retrograde's kind of getting to me because I can't remember words. all of that kind of stuff, okay? So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.